We finally had a sunny weekend for camping. This was our second time at Lake St. Peter, and this time we had a waterfront site. Nice weather, gorgeous site, a recipe for a perfect weekend, right? Well, not so much. When I pulled into the site, I had a hard time finding a level spot to park, so I ended up having to park on the top corner, which meant we had a lot of wasted space. But it worked out okay, and, well, yeah, we just made it work. The next thing I saw when I got out of the van was all the garbage left behind by the previous people. It wasn't big stuff, but a lot of little bits that were carelessly ignored as they were packing up, and it just made me angry. We also tried to play fetch in the water by our site, but it was too swampy and deep, so after a quick dip, we went to start a fire. But before I could do that, I had to clean out all the joint butts that were in there because that's all I could smell when we were sitting there, and I definitely didn't want to smell it once the fire was lit. First night wasn't going so well, but I went to bed with some hope that we could make the rest of the weekend better. The next morning, we woke up to a beautiful view, the sun in the sky, and my mood was just as bright. Even finding my vinegar had spilled in my food drawer didn't bother me too much. Cleaned it up, made coffee, and sat looking out over the water. We then took a walk down to the day-use beach as Bo could swim off to the side of it. It's not an official dog beach, but the staff last year told us we could go there, and we had no problems. We do try not to go when the beach is super busy, so the morning was the perfect time to get a good long swim in. Late morning, we headed out to do the hiking trail. We encountered more garbage near the beginning, which put me back in my disappointed mood. We have such beautiful parks here in Ontario, and they are not going to stay that way if we keep abusing them. And that makes me just really sad. We were still able to enjoy our hike, though, as the thought of losing all this nature made me appreciate it even more, and I paid close attention to all the details I could find in the wonder of this forest. Late that afternoon, we pumped up the paddleboard and set out on the lake. This is what I was looking forward to the most about being here at Lake St. Peter, especially since we could go out off our site. The sunny day was a treat, and we enjoyed paddling around the lake, well, until we had some boats and sea-doos joining us, which made it way too wavy to manage. Bo doesn't really like it when it's too choppy, so we headed back in hopes of another time that we could get out, but that never came as there was always boats racing around the lake with tubers behind them. We could have taken the board down to the day use area and gone in from there as it's calmer in that part of the lake, but it's a long walk to carry the board and walk Bo, so we just gave up and enjoyed the view and sun instead with the intention of going Sunday morning and getting a last paddle in. Dinner, well, it was a disappointment as well. I had forgotten half the ingredients I needed for the dinner I had planned, so I just made a pot of mac and cheese and ate it right out of the pot. This weekend certainly had a lot of highs and lows. I had high hopes and expectations for the first sunny weekend of the season, but things didn't turn out as planned. This is often the case though, and because of that, I have become so much better at rolling with the punches and being adaptable to our circumstances. On the way home, we made a pit stop in Perth. This is a favorite town for us to make stops in. Today, though, we had decided to stop in Perth because it had an A&W, and I had just seen over the weekend that they were offering pup patties, so we just had to get one for Bo. We grabbed lunch from A&W for both of us and headed to the park for a picnic and a walk. The weekend didn't start out so well, but we made the best of it and ended on a high note.